Welcome back to my channel. As you can see from the thumbnail and from the title, today we are getting into some makeup, but we are only going to be doing this look, and this turned out so good, so warm, and so just chocolatey black girl magic, like it's giving what it was supposed to give. And we are only going to be going in with bronzer today, no blush, so you can scratch that off the makeup list today for the routine. If you want to see how I achieve this look, keep watching the video. Bye. Jumping right into this tutorial, I'm going to be going in with my primer, and y'all, this is after I have done my skin prep. When I say skin prep, I mean face wash, exfoliate, and moisturizer, all that good stuff. Primer comes after that. Y'all know normally when I do my makeup routines, I always do my brows last, but for some reason today I thought that I was going to conceal my brows top and bottom, which is something I haven't done in years, but I ended up not going that route. So yeah, y'all, I ended up doing my brows first. I still did go in with my brow gel and, you know, get my natural brow hairs laid and, you know, in place. But I'm going to go in and do my regular brow routine, which is just filling in the hairs where I don't have any, and then going in with my spoolie and kind of brushing that product through with a very, very light hand. Y'all, the spoolies make a difference. Please, if your brow pencil don't have a spoolie, get you one, because it helps to kind of blend out any harsh lines or harsh areas that may come about when you're filling in your brows. That is what the spoolie does. It kind of helps to ease up the look on the brows. So if you feel like your brows just come out way too harsh, you may want to get you a spoolie. I promise you it definitely will help. And this is also a step that I like to take my time with. I do not rush my brows. This is what we looking like, and we're going to move on to foundation. Y'all already know I'm going to be going in with the NARS foundation, and I am going to be using a generous amount today. I will not be going in with my summer makeup routine. If you know, I normally use a little bit of foundation when it comes to that, but today we are going full coverage, okay? So I am going to be using this foundation, and I am just going to blend it all over. Again, you don't want to rush any of your cream products when it comes to makeup, because your cream products is what sets the tone for the face. So if your cream products aren't blending, it isn't giving skin, then when you add them powders, it's gonna look even worse, I promise you. So when it comes to your foundation, take your time. Like, there's no need to rush, especially if you're a beginner. Moving on to concealer, y'all already know I'm going in with the e.l.f. concealer, and this is in the shade Deep Chestnut, and I'm just going to be placing this everywhere and anywhere you would place your concealer when you're just doing a regular face of makeup. Nothing special, checking the placement, and we're good to go. Moving on to our cream contour, I am going to be going in and just adding that in my cheekbone area. And I noticed that, y'all, when I be using this palette on camera and like in person, like recording, like using my actual camera, and in person, this shade of brown that I'm using to contour looks so good, but on photos it just show up way too dark for me. So I think I'm gonna start using the shade before it, which is a lighter brown. And y'all, I went in to go ahead and blend out my concealer. Y'all know I always start in the forehead area to avoid picking up more product, and I use my fan to kind of dry down my concealer a little bit for the sake of the video, because I literally had just put that concealer on, and you do not want to go in and blend out your concealer without letting it sit. And while that concealer is sitting, y'all know I like to go ahead and prepare my translucent setting powder. So I just went ahead and grabbed that and put some in the top, and then I moved on to blending out my concealer, starting with the outer areas of the concealer, and then I move into my inner corner. You want to make sure your products are blending together, like where they meet. So focus on your outer parts and then move into the inner corner. Now I'm just going to add this second shade of concealer just to brighten up my under eye just a little. I literally use only a drop of this because, y'all, it go a long way. And this shade, y'all, when I tell y'all sorry to this man, I cannot remember the shade of this concealer. I don't have the box anymore, and it's not on the tube. But y'all see the nose? It's giving Miss Jackson, very much so. I was looking at my nose and I was like, oh yeah, this is giving Janet. But in regards to the concealer, y'all, I do not remember the shade. It is an e.l.f. concealer, as y'all can see, and I like to go in with the shade because it is a matte finishing concealer. This is I think it's the 36-hour camo concealer. This one has a matte finish, and I don't use any other matte finish products on my face, so I like it for my brows. And I'm just gonna go in and blend that out. And then any concealer that kind of drags down too far to my liking, when I'm blending out the concealer under my brows, I go in with my foundation brush and kind of just pat in that area, and it just takes care of it for me. Moving on to blending out the under eye concealer, or the brightening concealer shade that we use. I'm gonna blend that out, and y'all, I don't know what was going through my mind, but normally when I blend out my under eye concealer, I go in with my translucent powder and do my under eye. Y'all, why did I go right to my chin? So I'm sitting here setting my chin area, and then I'm like, I didn't do my under eye, and then I noticed it started to crease a little, like just that fast, because of the fact that my concealer had already been sitting. Like when you done blending out that last shade, you want to go ahead and set that under eye before it starts to crease, because the product is drying out even more. So I went ahead and blended out those creases, and then went in immediately with my translucent setting powder. Then moved on to my forehead area, and from there I'm just going to go down the bridge of my nose, everywhere that I put concealer, and I like to set my upper lip area as well. Moving on to set my cream contour, I am using a powder foundation made by Fenty Beauty, and this stuff literally just looks so good with the rest of my other products. It gives such a airbrush finish to my face, and I felt like this shade would go really well with the bronzer that we'll be using. Normally this is kind of my makeup routine in fall, but I still will go in with some blush. It'll be like a cranberry, you know, a darker undertone kind of blush, but this is basically my winter and fall makeup routine. Now for the start of the show, we're gonna go in with Mocha Mommy Fenty bronzer, and I am just going to be adding that into my cheek area. And I really wanted this makeup look to give Shelly, like very much bright under eye, very bronzy, very Barbie, very black girl magic. And y'all, this is it. This was so cute. Until next time, bye. I touch that fire for you. I do that 3 more times again.